Hello everyone, Teacher Skyla here with SkylaSposts.com, and on this channel you'll find videos all about making an income from home and how to get or be or stay healthy while doing it. In this video specifically, we're going to talk about accountability in our health and wellness goals, okay? I have 4 tips for you to help you with accountability. Tips or steps, whatever you'd like to refer to it as. For me, health and wellness is a passion, a priority, a necessity, all of the things. Be on the lookout. I do have a video I will be coming out with soon about my health and wellness journey, and you'll understand a little bit better why I'm so passionate about health and wellness. Very briefly, I'll say for me, health and wellness is a learned skill that I am still learning, and it's not something that I grew up with, that I grew up knowing. I have a mother who is severely obese, and I grew up with that and the challenges of that, as well as the example of that in my home. In addition to, I just knew the basics, like moving your body's good, exercising is good, fruits and vegetables are good, junk food is bad. That was basically what I knew. So through my whole journey, again, I'll share that later, but through my whole journey, there are some things that I have learned and I've been learning and I'd like to share. And I think that this is a great place to do it because if you're here, you're either already an online teacher and you are probably on your computer way too much. I know I am. Or you're a busy mom and you're an online teacher, or you're interested in making an income from home, but you still need to move your body. So let's talk about the 4 tips I have for you for accountability. Number 1 is to set specific goals. And with that, I will say you need short-term and long-term goals. For example, a short-term goal could be a daily goal. And maybe for you that is you want to walk so many steps, or you want to stretch for so many minutes, or maybe you have a specific workout platform like yoga or something that you want to do every day. So a short-term goal would be daily or weekly. And it needs to be very specific. So for me, let's say my short-term goal is I will exercise 30 minutes a day, 6 days a week. That's specific, right? Now, a long-term goal would be working towards something. For me, training for a race is a long-term goal that I set. So right now, I'm actually training for my half marathon number 3 and half marathon number 4, as well as marathon number 2. Again, you'll hear more about my journey later. You can also follow me on Instagram at Skyla's Posts. So at SKYLASPOSTS. I share a lot of my health and wellness stuff over on my Instagram. So if you're interested, you can follow me on there. And there are already some bits and pieces of my story on there, but you have to set specific goals. If you don't have specific goals, you're not going to do it. You're not accountable for anything because you're not working towards something. So set specific goals is tip number 1, and I encourage short and long-term goals. When I say long-term, I'm talking about within a few months, within 2 to 6 months. You can set 1-year long-term goals as well, but start out when you're trying to be accountable with, a few months. For example, the half marathon training plan I'm working on right now is a 20-week program because I'm trying to increase my speed, and in the past, I was only going for distance, and I've done the distances before, and I'm working back up to the distances again. So 20 weeks was great for me to choose for the plan I'm doing right now. But set specific goals for you. If you have questions or need help on setting goals or anything like that, you can always email me at skylasposts@gmail.com, or you can ask me below as well. Now, the second tip is a concept called floors and ceilings. And I think that this piggybacks this really well. I actually listened to a podcast, which I've only listened to like 4 podcasts my whole life at this point. So this was good enough that I took the time to fully listen to it. But it's written by someone named Brooke Snow, and she teaches the concept of floors and ceilings. It is a religious-based like her stuff does have like religion in it, so I don't know if that's your cup of tea or not, but I'll give you the gist of what that means. The idea is that your floor is the bare minimum that even if you're having a hard day, you could still do it, and your ceiling is like a 10. A floor is like a 1, your ceiling is like a 10. Most people, most days, when they're working towards their health and wellness goals or any goals in general, but in this instance, we're going to talk about accountability for wellness goals, we're typically at the middle for what we get accomplished in a day. Okay. The example she gives is yoga. She wanted to do yoga every single day for a year, but she decided to set some floors and ceilings for herself so that she could accomplish it. A ceiling, a 10 would be like an hour and a half or 2 hours of yoga a day. Like you can do that sometimes, but you are not doing that every single day. Probably for most people. If you do that and that's not your ceiling, more power to you. Awesome. Set a new ceiling. But a floor, this is the example she gave. The floor she set for herself was 3 cat-cows. If you know anything about yoga, it's a very quick move, and she said she could do it in a matter of seconds. Now, the reason why it's important to have a floor and a ceiling is because what if you are just having a crazy busy day and everything's going wrong? You're not going to be able to probably get the yoga in at a 4 or a 5 at, like a 30 to 45 minute workout. You're definitely not going to get a 10, but what's your number 1? For her, it was 3 cat-cows. So even if it was a crazy busy day, even if she was sick, she could still accomplish that. And you can't say she didn't do yoga if she only did her floor, because 3 cat-cows is still yoga. Do you see where I'm going with this? So there were days where she hit a 10. There were days where she was at her floor. There were many days she was somewhere in the middle. But you know what? She did yoga every single day for a year. Whether she was sick, whether she was busy, no matter what, because she had a floor and a ceiling. Often we only set ceilings. And guess what? We're not going to hit ceilings every day. It doesn't happen. Life happens. And so we give up on our goals too fast. We don't give ourselves attainable things to keep us accountable. And this video is all about accountability. Another example she gave was running. She wanted to do running. I don't remember all the details about what all she did for running, but what she said was her floor was to put on her shoes and walk to the path. There was a path that her backyard, I think, or her front yard. Anyway, I think she went out like her back door, and there was like a walking path that was right by her home. But her floor was put on my shoes and go stand at the edge of the path. That was her floor. If she at least did that, she felt like she accomplished something. She said if she got to that point, she never didn't go for a run or a walk. Okay, so think of things like that. Maybe you want to, the only example I can think of at this moment is I have a friend that wanted to try some healthy meal replacement shakes. And so her floor was get out my shaker bottle. Well, by the time she gets out the shaker bottle, she's not going to not make it. But that's not the point. The point is that the floor is so easy that even if you're sick, you could do it, because the days that you need a floor and you have a floor and that's where you're at and you do it, you feel accomplished. The days you hit ceilings, you feel accomplished too. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you. So the second tip is to set your floors and your ceilings, with the middle ground being where you'll probably be at most of the time. But you will feel empowered and you will feel accomplished even on the days that you only accomplish the floor level things. You can apply that to anything you're working on, anything you want accountability in, but specifically we're talking about fitness. Do something so easy you could almost do it in your sleep. That's your floor. Okay. So the third tip I have for you is to have at least 2 friends in a group chat to keep you accountable. Now that could be on Facebook Messenger, that could be in text messaging, it could be email. I mean, whatever works for you. But I will tell you right now, if you want to be accountable, you have to report to someone. If that's the step you choose, you can do one of these or all of these, or give me your own suggestions on other tips that you have that I'd love to hear. I'm sure others would love to hear as well. But having at least 2 people to keep you accountable makes a difference. Very quickly, I'll tell you about, I have a couple of friends that I decided to be in an accountability group with last June. So June of 2020, I was not in a good place mentally, emotionally, physically. Like I just was not in a good headspace when it came to health and wellness. I'd kind of hit a rough patch and I wanted to get back into daily healthy habits. Well, to do that, I wanted some accountability. And I talk a little bit about this in one of my other videos, but what I did was I picked a daily water goal, a daily movement goal, and a daily like spiritual or meditation scripture study goal. And those things I reported to my friends daily. And in June, I did okay. In July, I did better. In August, I did really good. In September, I did better. And I just kept getting better and better and better. And now, where are we at? 8 months later, I hit my daily water goal every day because it's such a habit. It's nothing. It's no big deal. I hit my daily exercise or movement goal every day because it's a habit now. It's no big deal. And I hit my daily scripture meditation goal because it is a habit now. But it wasn't until I had accountability. Okay? I hope that you really, really take this suggestion because it helped me get out of my funk. I had someone to report to. If you don't like to report to people, think of a different word. I like to tell people, I did it. I did what I was going to do. But get accountable. And the reason why it's better to have at least 3 of you plus 2 friends, is because it's easy for 2 of you to not do something. It's harder for 3 of you to not do something. But start with something easy. You don't have to pick a whole bunch of things at once. That's just what I did. That's where I was at. I wanted to also work on eating healthy foods, but I really didn't bring that in until those other 3 things were a habit. And I really started putting that focus in over the last month and a half, last 2 months. Again, I'll update you on all of that, and you can always check out my Instagram as well. But have friends. The other tip I have for you, the 4th tip I have for you, is to get a coach. If you are really serious about your health and wellness goals and really either you want to get stronger or you want to lose weight or anything like that and you want to take it to the next level, get a coach or someone who can help train you or help you pick a training plan, something like that. Someone who can really help you, that you work well with, that you want to learn from. If you want me to help you, that is something I do. That is something I can help you with, and I would love to help you with. Otherwise, it could be a trainer online. It could be a trainer in a gym. There are so many options, but I do highly encourage you to find a coach if you are wanting to get to the next level with any of your health wellness goals. So tip 1, set specific goals related to health and wellness. Tip number 2, remember and set your floors and your ceilings. Number 3 is have friends to help keep you accountable. And number 4, get a coach. I hope you found this helpful. And I do have a playlist of other health related videos and tips and things like that you're welcome to check out. It is linked below. And I'll catch you next time.